With the advent of modern techniques in biology, biotechnology has progressed exponentially in the last decade. The Malaysian government has long recognized biotechnology as an important technology that will contribute much to the well-being of its mankind. In the National Biotechnology Program of the National Biotechnology Directorate, projects in genomics, proteomics, and structural biology employ bioinformatics to answer the questions posed by their subject of interest. But how does bioinformatics actually relate to biotechnology? Bioinformatics can be defined as a computer-assisted discipline to acquire, store, manage, and more importantly, process molecular biology data to understand processes of life. For example, if we wish to understand the genetic makeup of an individual and his cells, his DNA can be extracted and processed using various genomic strategies and robotic or automated equipment. The DNA is then sequenced in a high-throughput manner, and the abundant sequence information can only be deciphered with the help of high-powered computing and bioinformatics tools. The digital sequence information is processed using various bioinformatics software. The use of high-throughput processing hardware such as parallel clusters and biogrid systems allow for data crunching and analysis in a relatively short space of time.
Well, the sheer amount of biological data being generated by DNA sequencing requires powerful computational capacity and huge storage resources. Well, to handle and analyze so much data, you usually need supercomputing capacity. Okay, but supercomputers are expensive to buy and maintain. Other than that, they also require a lot of support resources, and therefore, cluster and grid computing are attractive alternatives to this. Okay, you can adapt cluster and grid computing to solve the same problems as supercomputers. Okay. Basically, what cluster computing is putting together different compute nodes, then linking and managing them together using software in a network environment. These nodes can even be your desktop PCs. Okay. This enables supercomputing capability at a much lesser cost, and you can customize them to suit the user's needs and budget. Without this in bioinformatics, the data generated will remain meaningless data of no value to anyone. With computational assistance, biological data becomes biological information. That is in itself a knowledge product for further development or even immediate application.
The data that is generated can be utilized in many ways. The structures of the proteins encoded by the DNA of interest can be predicted again by using bioinformatics software.
Among some of the work that we are doing here are building databases, functional genomics, and protein modeling. The wet labs generate data in form of DNA sequences, and then the computers are used to translate this wet lab data into readable data. And if the DNA is part of the genome project, then the sequences need to be assembled into genes, chromosome, and finally the complete genomes. We also build databases to manage all this data and present it as informations. So basically, we work from DNA sequences, assemble them, model the protein structures, and investigate the interaction of this protein with each others. Almost all of these processes and simulation require a high level of computational power. This is how bioinformatics is driving forward today's biotechnology in Malaysia and the rest of the world.
This pipeline integrating genomics and bioinformatics in Malaysia was put to the test in May 2003 during the SARS outbreak in Malaysia. The Ministry of Science, Technology and the Environment initiated a project to sequence an animal isolate of coronavirus. Using the infrastructure and bioinformatics tools available at the interim laboratory of the National Institute for Genomics and Molecular Biology, the whole coronavirus genome was successfully sequenced and analyzed in the space of 6 days. Without these facilities and tools available to the researchers, such an endeavor would have taken almost 6 months to complete. With this sequence information available, scientists can develop new diagnostic tools for SARS, as well as advise the medical profession on therapeutic measures. In the present Malaysian scenario, bioinformatics has become an essential tool and the backbone for research in biotechnology. With the government's continued support, bioinformatics in Malaysia